I'm going to use this as an opportunity to talk to you about hair. You notice inside the video, notice inside the Padlet that I provided, there's all these different examples of hair. And if you go into the in portraits and you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's a woman and she's drawn in pink, and or she's drawn in graphite on a pink piece of board, and that gives us the first thing that I want to talk to you about with hair. Um, Here's what I want you to know about hair. You want to think about it as a volume, okay? You don't want to think about it like little strings of hair. And so the hair sits, you want to like, so the hair that they've drawn for this woman, for that woman, I want to put it on this character right here. It has two essential volumes, one of them on the right, okay, and it has a big shape to it, and one of them on the left. And one of the main important things about it is, you know how here's our brow and here's the structure of the head. And when we're drawing the head in this way where we can see the volume, it makes it so that we can set the hair on the head in a way that's volumetric. Like I can take the head and I can run this hair across the volume. You see how I've done that? And now I can bring it over like this and tuck it behind the ear. Okay, now when we look at this, you see how this mass of hair has crossed this volume? And then I could take this side of it and just thinking about it like a big volume. This would be the underside of this volume. Okay, now how about this hair over on this side? I want to take and pass from here up and over. Look, I'm going to overlap that volume, and I'm going to pass over and again behind the ear. Okay, and so you see how, again, now look at how critical that overlap is right there. And this I can do anything I want with it, but I'm dragging it back and pushing it over the ear there. And notice the shape of the contours. And now this is the underside of it. And this is that. Okay. And okay, so, and what I want you to think about is, so if the light is coming from this way, what I want you to think about is, I want you to think about this like a big solid mass of something, okay? And you can always soften it. The problem is never that people draw hair looking too sculptural. It's always that they draw hair without volume and form. So let's aim to make the hair look like a sculpted mass, even like something that's not soft, okay? Notice, if you look at the examples that I gave you with hair, notice how sometimes you can draw hair like this. You can draw a face, you can draw a face like this. There's the nose, okay? And the hair forms, can form a truly powerful silhouette, you know? Like, look at, I'm just gonna think about the hair on this particular drawing as a silhouette. Okay, so there's almost no details going on here. You can remove all these details. And this aspect of the hair is really, really critical. This aspect of the hair is really fun, and it shows you a lot. Okay, so between the silhouette and this, making sure that you kind of hug the volume. Okay, and I want to give one more example of that. So let's say that we have a volume like this. Okay, so that's a constructed volume. And if our job is to take this constructed volume and give it hair, what we want to do is we want to come up with the connection. Okay, so here's the connection of the hair, and it goes back and across this volume, you see, and here will be the part, and it will go back and across the volume. And this part of the hair will go in this direction, and this part of the hair will go, and look at how it's going over the volume and around the volume, and it starts having the effect of hair. Okay. All right, one other, so, and I want to erase these lines, and you can see volume. Okay. And this works for any kind of hair you're drawing. If you're drawing African American hair, if you're drawing tight curly hair, if you're drawing flowing hair or loose hair, okay? And the last thing that I want to tell you about hair is, well, the hairline, this hairline here changes around. The hairline on the side is usually in the shape of a 3. It usually goes 1, you see this? You see that 3? You'll usually run into, in one form or another, a little bit of a 3 there. And this is widely changeable. You know, some person with like a giant widow's peak, or some person who's losing their hair, this can go all the way back like this, or in any millions of, it can go straight across like this. There's just any number of ways that hair can work like that. And then if you think about, and the last thing that I want to say is that if you think about hair as in kind of clumps, so if you think about like a clump that would be attached here, and then this whole clump might come over and fold over the ear and then drop down this way. But I want to shade it as a clump, like that. Okay, and then there might be another clump that sits underneath that and occupies, you know, that part of the head, and comes over and goes down. And look at, I want to shade that one like a clump. Okay, and now there's another one right here which could come over, and now it's going to go behind the neck over there. So not thinking about it as individual hairs, like, but thinking about it as clumps. Okay, and now there could be a clump that was here, like this, and now this clump might go up and cut over this way. And here's the side plane of that clump, and we would see the side plane of this clump of hair, like this, and this is the underside of it. And there could be another one here, a little clump going up and over, and this is the side plane of that clump. And here, let's start to see a little bit of a shadow. Okay, and here would be another one, but this one is going to go back. And there would be another one over here. And okay, so clumping, And then the last thing that you'll do when you're drawing hair is you can always add a few kind of like flyaways, like 1, 2, 3, and then that will have a really nice effect. You can be like 1, 2, 3, okay. This guy's got crazy hair. Okay.